So what do you think is the last real frontier on Earth? You might think it's somewhere out in space. But what if I told you it's actually deep, deep beneath the waves? We're going to dive into this really unique podcast called Whispers of the Deep. And this show, it does so much more than just tell you stories about the ocean. It actually invites you to come along on a journey into its biggest, darkest mysteries.
All right, so let's get into it. The whole idea behind Whispers of the Deep is built on this one kind of staggering fact. Most of our own planet is basically an alien world. The real secret here is just how much we don't know.
Get ready for this number. 80%. Just let that sink in for a second. A full 80% of our planet's oceans are completely unexplored. We haven't mapped them, we haven't seen them. Think about that. The vast majority of our own world is still a complete and total mystery.
And if you want some perspective on that, here's something wild. More people have literally walked on the surface of the moon than have ever visited the deepest spot on Earth, the Mariana Trench. Kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Maybe the greatest adventure isn't way out in the stars, but right here, just under the surface of the water.
And it's exactly that feeling, that deep sense of mystery that this podcast really taps into. I think the creators of the show said it perfectly. The ocean remains the least explored frontier of our planet, and perhaps the most mysterious. So we're shifting gears now from just how much we don't know to the really fascinating secrets that are hiding down there.
Okay, so how in the world does a show even begin to tackle a mystery that huge? Well, this is where it gets really clever. The genius of it is how it weaves together two totally different things. On one side, you have hard science, and on the other, you've got the incredible pull of old myths and folklore.
So yeah, you'll hear them digging into real, verifiable stuff like mysterious sounds picked up on sonar or these bizarre deep-sea ecosystems. But then, in the same breath, they'll explore these timeless legends of lost cities like Atlantis or even mythical sea creatures. It's this cool space they've created where, whether you're a total science nerd or a bit of a dreamer, you feel right at home.
For example, have you ever heard of the bloop? Back in 1997, deep in the Pacific, sonar picked up this incredibly powerful, super low-frequency sound. It was real, it was recorded, and to this day, nobody can agree on what made it. The debate is still going. And then they'll paint these incredible pictures with words, talking about bioluminescent creatures. They describe them as living galaxies, just creating their own light in this crushing, absolute darkness. It's just pure, mind-blowing natural wonder.
And of course, they dive into those timeless legends that we all know, the ones that kind of haunt our collective imagination. They actually investigate the stories of ancient civilizations like Atlantis just swallowed by the sea. But here's the thing that really sets this podcast apart. This isn't just some lecture you put on in the background. No way. It's designed to be an active, guided, and really personal experience for you, the listener. The host literally speaks directly to you. They'll say something like, imagine right now, you're in a submarine. The sunlight is fading as you descend. And that simple little command, it just completely pulls you in. It makes the whole exploration feel like it's happening right now.
And that really gets to the heart of it. The whole point isn't just to tell you facts about the ocean's mysteries. The goal is to make you feel it, to feel the wonder, the pressure, the absolute thrill of discovery for yourself. They actually walk you through this simple little process. First, they ask you to just imagine it, to picture yourself descending into the deep. Then, they encourage you to document what you're thinking, like literally jot down which mysteries are grabbing your attention. And finally, they invite you to share it, turning what could be a lonely listen into this cool, shared expedition.
Okay, so how does this actually play out for you? Well, the podcast basically empowers you. It gives you a really clear, easy way to start your own journey of discovery. It's not just about them exploring, it's about getting you to explore.
And to help you get going, they offer up a bunch of starting points. You've got things like the Bermuda Triangle, legends of the Megalodon, those glowing sea creatures we talked about. You're just asked to pick one. Whichever one sparks your curiosity, that's it. That's the start of your own personal investigation. It's a great way to make the sheer vastness of the ocean feel a little less intimidating.
So when you boil it all down, it's really this perfect mix. The show uses science and mythology to spark your curiosity, and then it uses this interactive element to turn that spark into a real, genuine sense of personal wonder. It's a pretty powerful combination.
And what this does is it completely reframes how you think about the ocean.
It's not just a big body of water, it's like a library of our planet's untold stories. As they say on the show, the ocean isn't just water, it's the last great secret.
So that kind of brings us to the end, and I want to leave you with the same exact question the podcast asks its listeners. After hearing all this, what part of that unexplored 80%, what part of that giant mystery calls out to you? What are you curious about?